How big a blow was it losing Andrews so quickly after just him signing? It's a massive blow for you doing that. It must be really gutting for the player as well.
Yeah, it's a huge blow, first and foremost for him, coming to a new club and desperate to make an impact, and also for us, because I know exactly what we were getting. And sometimes football has just that wee habit of giving you a slap in the face, and it was a real sore one, for everybody connected with our club and Andrew himself. So, but we've got to move on. We're not going to have him for the next 8 to 10 weeks. So, others need to step up to the plate.
How did it happen, Jim? Was it just one of those accidents that can happen in football?
There was absolutely nobody near him. He just turned to push off and sprint away, and he went down heavily and his bone had broken, so sore one.
Does that make you look at perhaps bringing in a replacement for Andrew until he's fit again? Yeah.
There's definitely, we've got that in mind, that we are short in that area. Obviously we've got Dan suspended for the next 2 games as well, so for that side out, then we are very light at centre back area.
Are you close to bringing in anyone else in general just to add to the squad?
Yeah, we've got a couple of things going on in the background, but until they're signed in the dotted line, I don't want to really discuss them, because you never know what can happen.
Can I ask you, you're talking about Andrew Davies and that, there's been a lot of chat about Glenn Kamara over the last few days. Obviously he signed the pre-contract about whether he could go to Rangers now. Is there any update on
No,
that
there's
front?
no development. As far as I'm aware, there's still ongoing talks, so we'll see what comes of that.
Just going back to Andrew Davies, Craig Curran was in and he was saying it's a huge blow for the players, but he says he's a real leader of men off the pitch as well. So I guess even though he's going to be sidelined for the next couple of months, I would imagine he's probably got a big role to play in the dressing room or off the park as well. Yeah,
without a shadow of a doubt, he's got that presence and character about him. And he's infectious. He's a bubbly character, and that's what you want about your dressing room. And once he gets his operation out of the way today, then it'll be a case he'll spend a few days at home, and then he'll be back here on Monday, and he'll be here full time. Getting right behind the lads and obviously working on his rehab, doing what he can to keep in good nick. Don't have any issues, in terms of his body, for his age, because he's a proper professional who looks after himself. So, but no, it'll be good to have his positive influence about the building.
What are your thoughts ahead of the game this weekend?
Well, it's a tough game. Obviously, they had a brilliant result last week. The last couple of weeks, I went to watch them up at Inverness. Where they probably didn't play their best on the day, but showed a real resilience. To score 2 late goals, that fighting character you can clearly see that Gary's got on his side. And I think when you have, Dobie in the team, then you've always got a chance of winning games. I think to amass 32 goals so far this season is, that just tells you what a good player he is. And I think it's been well documented that he could play for a Premier League club if he chose to, but he's happy where he is, and I think he deserves a lot of credit, for the way he goes about his business. So obviously he's one we need to keep a real eye on, but they've got other good players. But we're at home. It's a good chance for us to, start after the break, with a winning result, try and get into the next round of the Cup. That's the only focus for us, and then hopefully then we take that one step further against Hearts.
Is the match this weekend, is it a welcome distraction from the league campaign or an unwelcome one?
I think it makes it more difficult for the Premier League club, simply because we've been idle for 3 weeks, if you like, whereas the Championship clubs and teams below are still been playing. So, but it would always be a difficult game. Queens have got good players, so whenever we played it, it would still be a difficult game.
Do you view this as a chance, if you can get a wee cup run going, then it could have a positive spin-off in terms of the league form too?
Well, we had a really positive one by winning it at Ross County and finishing the top 6 in the same season. Now we certainly know if we go on a cup run, we ain't finishing top 6 this year. But yes, taking board your point that it can help produce other positive results, which we are in badly need of at the moment.
Your team news?
We have obviously Andrew Davies out, and we've got Dan Day suspended. and obviously Josh Meekins is a longer term one.
Obviously, I know there's the meeting at McDiarmid Park tonight between the Premiership managers and Ian Maxwell. I'm just wondering, are you going along, and how important do you think this meeting could be tonight?
Yes, of course, I'll be there, and it is important. I think it's always good to have communication with the referees, and you can air a few things that you think, you feel, has maybe went against you, and see what the process of the decision was behind, because there's nearly every club will have been in an appeal process this year, and you would like to know sometimes how that decision has been made.
What would you hope would come from the meeting tonight? I mean, it's very much kind of been portrayed as almost like a kind of clear the air meeting. I mean, a lot's been said by various managers, I'm not saying yourself, but over the last few months that seem to have maybe upset the referees, maybe the way things are being handled as well. I mean, what do you see this as almost like a clear the air meeting, and what do you hope perhaps could emerge from it in a positive sense?
Well, I think the first thing I say is I think all the managers have respect for the referees and realise how difficult a job it is. They get a split second to make a decision. I do agree that I think full-time referees would help the referees. The VAR system's huge for me as well. To get, I think, with all the other countries putting that forward, we've got to be following suit. I recognise that it's a lot of money, but we are playing in a very good league at the top level in our country, and we've got to make sure we have it.
Jim, you mentioned that you'll be looking to bring in a replacement for Andrew Davis. The fact that he was brought in on a permanent deal, is there funds to bring in someone else in his position on a permanent deal, or are you going to be looking into the loan market?
No, it doesn't necessarily need to be a loan. It can be a permanent deal as well, because obviously you'll have players out of contract at the end of the season as well. So no, it'll be whoever we feel is right for the club, and determine obviously what the club that we're bringing them from also want for their player as well. But it's all about trying to get the right individual to do the job first and foremost.
And I know you said there's no development in the kind of Glenn Kamara situation, but if a solution was agreed between the two clubs where Glenn could go now in this window, and a potential fee was involved, I mean, how much funds could that free up for you to maybe bring in other players?
Well, I think that's a question to ask Mr Nelms, and not me. What I will say is both John and Tim have been very supportive in this transfer window and continue to do so. So obviously any manager would be looking to try and maximise any fee that was brought in to try and improve the squad.
Do you have a preference of whether Glenn goes now or in the summer?
No, I would rather he went just now. And I think that's exactly what Glenn's looking for as well. I think clearly before this came about, then there's no doubt that in my mind that it's difficult for a player to focus, on the job in hand when he knows he's going somewhere else.
If a solution wasn't resolved, is that a potential problem with managing Glenn being at the club if he doesn't want to be at the club? No,
not at all. You've got to manage whatever situation that you're in. The question was, would you prefer that he moved on? I know Glenn would rather move on, and I think it's best for all parties, but until anything's agreed, then he's a Dundee player.
I'll just ask a final question on referees, Jim. There seems to be more focus for some reason this year, the way things have gone. I mean, do you think the game's maybe quicker? Is that why we've obviously called for full-time referees? Do you think there's more focus from the referees needs to be put on the job rather than it being sort of a part-time and having jobs on the side? Do you think the speed of the game now is maybe affected the focus this year?
I'm not so sure. I definitely think the game is getting quicker. There's no doubt about that. But as I say, I just think it would help if they were full-time.